Obviously, State of the Union was on Tuesday. Joseph Robinette Biden gave his annual speech, pep rally for America, and it was fine. I mean, on some level, just like as like, I mean, it's like a just talking guy talking at you, telling you everything's gonna be all right, like kind of
when everything is clearly burning.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but like sometimes you want Grandpa to just like sit there with the
pat
steady
you on
hand.
the back. It's gonna be all right, fella.
Exactly. Sometimes I feel
We're
like
all good, brother. This is America.
Exactly. But
yeah, let me know when we can weigh in on this.
If we're gonna get out the monocle and take a slightly more critical look at this, there's a lot of craziness. I mean, the only thing that like really leapt off the page to me, and I'm sorry, I apologize for just like mad scrolling through this very long speech, was I didn't care a whole lot for his talk on policing. That's probably the biggest thing that leaped out to me, because like, what was overall like a positive, like, America's doing great, low unemployment, I have a plan to fix the problems that we've got. No mention of student debt. Yeah, I mean, it really was like there was a lot that was missing, but like his specific comments on policing were really fucked up, in my opinion.
Fill me in, because I don't pay attention to Robinette, so I'm gonna get a gerbil and name it Robinette.
I mean, here, let me see if I can like jump to it, Control F to it. So he talks about this. So we should all agree the answer is not to defund the police.
I immediately disagree.
You lost, bro. You lost.
I immediately disagree.
They need to protect our communities.
Police don't protect people.
So yeah, and that's why the American Rescue Plan, and right before this he says, provided $350 billion to cities, states, and counties.
$350 billion? Is he out of it? See, this is how I know he has Alzheimer's, bro. He hasn't heard shit we've said in the last 3 years. This makes absolutely no sense. Like Joe Biden on smack you in the back of your old ass head, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's really a wild take to me, because I don't feel like anybody's asking for the police to get more money. And to tie back to the Ukraine situation,
no one asked for the police to get more money. Like literally when we started talking about defund the police, Joe Biden said, "Oh, we should give the police $300 million more dollars," and then you actually give them $350 billion.
Well, that was the whole rescue plan. You can just use parts of it for policing, is what he's saying. So, we, like I said, I don't think the public really supports giving the police a whole lot more money. And what I don't like about this framing is that, what is popular with the public? If you're trying to like stick your finger in the wind and figure out what the politically winning issue is, if defund the police, quote, isn't the winning issue, is people want mental health, they want addiction treatment, and also, just to tie back to the Ukraine thing, sorry, I lost my train there, the military of Ukraine, which is currently fighting a ground war with Russia, is like almost half the size of the budget for the NYPD. Like, I saw that quote out in the...
Are you serious?
Yeah, the NYPD's annual budget's like $11 billion, and like the Ukraine spends like a little more than half that on their military budget. So, which is crazy, because, I mean, it's a much larger country, and...
Well, I mean, California does
$11 billion.
The economy for it.
Here's the thing. We know for a fact police do not make our community safer. We know what makes our community safer. Food, housing, clothes, education, public transportation, fucking healthcare. Like, I just don't understand how many times we're going to run into the same wall of doing the same bullshit that we know doesn't work for the same justification of, well, we're afraid of doing something new. Literally, what do we have to lose besides more black and brown bodies? And I'm not willing to sacrifice those. So what the fuck is y'all gonna do? Because this ain't working. And at this point, like, literally, you're signing more death warrants to people that look like me, and all we've been asking is to stop killing us. I wouldn't be surprised one day if people start shooting back. Then what you gonna do? You gonna be looking real dumb, bro. Like, this is madness.
It's the only time we'll get gun regulations.
And the only time y'all want to bring gun control is when black people get guns. So it's just like, this is literally the operation of a tyrannical country right here. Y'all, the two-way people, this is why we have the Second Amendment right here. What the fuck is y'all doing? Like,
I mean, I'm gonna just say this about the speech as a whole first. And I tweeted this. That shit was mid. Like, it was honestly one of them. Like, I felt mediocre. Like, I did not get like sold on like this bold and new vision for like America. And notice not once did like the words "Build Back Better" show up in that speech whatsoever. Because like, for Joe Biden, that was probably one of the most progressive packages that he ever wanted to like dole out. And it didn't happen. And I mean, if you saw, the Republicans did have, their counter report with the governor of Iowa. The progressive side, for the first time, had their reply with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib with the Working Families Party, which, the things that she did argue was this. Not once did we get a mention on student loans whatsoever, right? We'll see if they even bring that back for the election, which at this point I highly doubt it. He used Republican talking points specifically on the conversations about police and his Supreme Court nominee, which we'll talk about that in a moment. But I don't like it whenever a Democrat is coming up there talking about like, it's good that the FOP supports this or this. As far as I'm concerned, as an Oklahoman, that sounds a lot like David Prater. That sounds a lot like David Holt. It sounds a lot like David Holt too. And it's just like, and so now like that's evidentially clear to me. I mean, you look at the theatrics of last night, or not last night, you look at the theatrics of the State of the Union, and you see, Joe Manchin sitting with all of the Senate Republicans and then clapping every once in a while. And it's like, listen, man, we know you're a Republican. Like, we know you're not a Republican. You're a conservative. We know you're a conservative who just happens to caucus with our party. And so, like, at this point, like, I'm like, I don't expect anything bold and beautiful out of the administration. A lot of like the first time, like, Kamala Harris and Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi sitting up there. Yes, like that is like, an iconic moment in time. I just simply wish it was with better people. And like it really doesn't give us any positive vibes whenever you're praising police online. I think Anna just pulled up what the White House had made a statement on theirs in police, and it's always about like investing in more community policing, and it's just like it doesn't function. That like just give me my money back. That's what I want at this point. Just give me my money back because I feel like I can protect myself better.
Yep, y'all stop taking my Social Security. Am I ever even gonna get it? So one thing I just thought was really interesting, like the smallest excerpt in this I just saw as Nick was scrolling through it, and he says, advancing liberty and justice also requires protecting the rights of women. Like, but what are you doing though? Like, you haven't done shit, Joe Biden, and you're against stacking the courts to be able to protect the rights of women. Like, you ain't done shit. You are a fucking empty suit, bro. And do I get to say I told you so about Joe Biden like I did Abby Royals? Because I've been telling y'all don't vote for this nigga. No, like,
You know,
Don't vote for Donald Trump either, but God.
I want to add one last thing on this point too. So the one crowd on Twitter that noticeably was like the speech just flat out sucked, because I think a lot of people, even in the more progressive circles, were like very afraid to like or even say anything about tweets in regards to this. But the immigration community was not having it. Like, they were not having it on Twitter. They were like, you name drop, we need strong border security and we need like a pathway for immigrants. Bro, we've been hearing the same shit for 20 goddamn years. 20
Get on 'em.
whole years.
Come on, DACA.
We ain't gonna do shit.
Recipients, come on, immigrants. Get on him. Flame his ass up.
Like,
and that's the coalition right there. Like, literally,
undocumented
y'all have to
folks have been
understand,
saying
this
for
is
a
the
long
same
time.
government that continually fucks the poor whites, the immigrants, the black people, the natives. Like, bro, this is the coalition right here. Call me. I'm the Fred Hampton of Oklahoma in this bitch. I will coalesce us. Call me.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I've mentioned it. I've always wanted to tweet it, but since I kind of keep the Twitter anonymous, I don't ever say it. But, like, it was my 74-year-old dad who was getting his medical stuff done that I was home with. But when my 74-year-old dad, who was a lifelong Republican until Trump, says Joe Biden's not doing enough, maybe Joe Biden's not doing enough. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, my dad and I don't agree on all the issues, but when even he's like, Joe could do more, maybe Joe should do more. So, yeah, I agree with everything everyone said. It was rough. It was rough to listen to, and I don't know. We'll see what they get done in the next few weeks, months. But yeah, I mean, just a bunch of empty promises, other stuff. We'll see. Other comments? Other thoughts?
Do better.
You know what?
Be better, Joe Biden.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm calling it right now. It is 12:40 on March the 4th, Friday. Okay? All right? Progressives are going to do very well across the board and in these primaries in this election, while the Dems, and when I mean the Dems, I mean the center coalition, is going to be going down.
The shit libs, bro. Y'all are going to fucking lose it all in the 22 midterms because you lied. You lied about every single thing you said to get elected into office. But you know what works? Progressive platform and policies. So I'm with Taz. We're calling it because we called it last time. Every person who ran on a progressive platform, with the exception of maybe one or two, won their fucking seat.
Yeah. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.